Hello, welcome to Name That Pleat. This is the trivia show where you get to guess what kind of looks are going down the runway. Today we're going to talk about a pleated skirt made by Burberry in their fall ready-to-wear collection for 2022. This skirt is super cool. I love it. Let's take a closer look at it and see if you guys can guess what kind of pleating that is. Can you guys tell what kind of pleating that is? All right, time's up. So let's take a look at this, do a little bit of a deeper dive. First of all, if you look at it closer, you can see that there is a difference in size between the top of the pleat and the bottom of the pleat. Normally that would tell you that it is a sunburst pleat. However, it is not. How do I know? Because if you look at the plaid, you can see that the plaid is totally straight all the way across. If this would have been a sunburst pleat, the plaid would have gone into this giant arch. So the first thing is that we're looking at this and we're like, okay, this is interesting. This is different than normal. Normally, we don't see a lot of A-line pleating. Now, this is specifically A-line pleating. The other thing is, if we look at the pleat, we can see that it's leaning to one side. Okay, and we can see that one pleat is on top of the other pleat. And when that happens, we know that it is a side pleat. So we know it's a side pleat. We know that it's not a sunburst. We know that it has a straight grain going all the way across it because of the plaid. And we know that it's shaped. So that is an A-line pleat. That means that the entire panel is actually curved a little bit to create a little bit of an A-line shape. That's why if you look at the skirt, you can only see part of it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful shape. This style of pleating is not very common to see. As a matter of fact, most of the time when you see straight pleating, and you see that at the top it's a little bit smaller. It's smaller because the seamstress is actually taking it in a little bit to accommodate the waist. The difference between the hip and the waist, because the hip is bigger obviously than the waist. Now, if you look at this pleat, you can see that the entire thing has a nice beautiful angle to it, and that is a totally different mold. It's much more rare to see. A lot of people don't do it. Main reason is because it's a lot more of a hassle to deal with sizing. So hence, this is a better brand, and we know that they have the budget to accommodate for that. It's smaller at the top than at the bottom. You can see that it's leaning to one side, and you can see that this spacing is very, very constant throughout the entire panel. Hence, it's an A-line pleat. And A-line pleating is a little bit more technical when sewing. That's why you don't really see it that much when you're out there. Most of the time what you see is basically straight pleats that were taken in a little bit more at the waist, and then because you have a hip and you're walking, it creates this little bit of an A-line effect. But this is specifically an A-line mold. And in addition to this, this mold was made specifically to match the repeat of this design. This is a couture pleated skirt, my favorite. For those of you that are tuning in and this is your first time, please know that this is Tom Sons International Pleating. My name is George Kalajian. We are professional pleating contractors located in the Garment Center of New York City. We cater to all the top brands that send their clothing down the runway, as well as smaller brands and even students. Please check out our website, www.internationalpleating.com, and see what you can learn about how to order your own pleated skirt. That's it for today's episode. I don't know what else to say. I don't know why this episode kind of messed me up. But see you next time.